Hello everyone. So Financial Action Task Force just completed their plenary meeting. They are conducted multiple times these days annually on 26 and 26 to 28 of June in Singapore. Lots of things were discussed, but the important one that we want to discuss about this video is about the mutual evaluation of India. So India became member of Financial Action Task Force in 2010. The purpose of this mutual evaluation is that your government federal government is making sure that the financial and non-financial sectors are not being used by the money launderers, terrorist financiers, or proliferation financiers, and to create anti-money laundering law initially, and making sure that supervisory bodies of those sectors are creating regulations to prevent obliged entity, regulated entity not to be used by their customers or clients to do money laundering or terrorist financing. So India became member of Financial Action Task Force in 2010, and since then, Financial Action Task Force have updated their recommendation, the standards. So lots of countries who were previously evaluated, they had to be reevaluated again after 2012. So India was supposed to be evaluated in September 2020. Because of the COVID, they were not able to do so. So the Indian government were doing things to prepare for according to the new standards of the Financial Action Task Force. Like in 2019, the government set up a joint venture or joint working group of 22 central intelligence agency and regulatory bodies to achieve the expectation of the standards of Financial Action Task Force. Those government bodies were these federal government and bodies. The goal was to investigate and find the culprits who have been using financial and non-financial sector to do money laundering or terrorist financing. Okay, so they updated the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. You can find it, you can search it and find it in the governmental website what this law was about. They updated the law, initially came out in 2002 after the 9/11 attack, but they updated this law in order to be in accordance with the new standards of the Financial Action Task Force that came out in 2012. So which led to, after updation, multiple updations in this law, which led to the registration of almost 5,000 cases in last 10 years. They made some arrests as well, and they confiscated illegal assets of 1.21 lakh crore. And the goal was, which Financial Action Task Force in 2010, also, when the Indian government and India as a country became member of Financial Action Task Force, they said that you have to deal with the politically exposed person, like the politicians who use, or their close associates who launder money, who do bribery and corruption. So the Anti-Money Laundering, Prevention of Money Laundering Act was updated accordingly to make sure that those politicians are not being used. So of course some opposition in Indian federal government, the opposition of the Indian federal government, though they say that is to target the political agenda or the political parties. The updates in this law, the cases that are being made against politicians of opposition party, and this law is being used for negative purposes or for political political gains or political whatever your grudges that you have against your opposition and so on. So the law was also updated to prevent cryptocurrency being used for money laundering purposes, to register those crypto exchange companies under the regulatory framework, and make sure that they do KYC and CDD, transaction monitoring, sanction screening, and register with the Financial Action Task Force of the Indian FIU India, to make sure that they report STRs on any suspicious activities on any digital wallets of the crypto assets. So they also updated Fugitive. They also created a Fugitive Economic Offender Act in 2018, Indian government, to make sure that those rich people, they, like the case of Malia, like they do corruption or they do tax evasion in country, and they then move to other countries. Like he went to London, or those people who get a they get a passport of other countries like Caribbean countries, Jamaica, St. Kitts, by investing $150,000 or $100,000 or something, and government is unable to do extradition because they revoke the Indian nationality and they get the new nationality. So they created a law to make sure that this doesn't happen. and any cases above 100 crores of those who have confiscated, those who have done any sort of money laundering or financial crime, they want to consider them in this law, under this law, and make sure that they are unable to move out of the country. And if they have, we have to deal with them to bring them back in India, etc., through extradition, by signing lots of extradition treaties with other countries, and punish them accordingly. So Financial Action Task Force on their website mention about the what they found in India after the Indian mutual evaluation, and the Kuwaiti one have also been approved. So we want to focus on the Indian one. So they feel like, or they believe that the India have made high level of technical compliance, the 40 recommendations. So to prevent money laundering at a country level, at a supervisory level, they understood the risk. India as a whole, and in your financial and non-financial sectors, they understood the risk. They performed the risk assessment, NRA, and internal risk assessment, internal risk rating, and so on. They cooperate through Egmont Group and sign lots of mutual legal assistance treaties with other countries, amenities. They've started creating the beneficial public corporate registry as well to prevent any sort of the companies that are being used, the legal person that are being used to hide beneficial information, like shell companies and fund companies and so on. The use of financial intelligence, making sure that the financial intelligence unit are being used to file STRs, CTRs, and EFTRs, and depriving the criminals from using their illicit assets, like cash, anything that value $10,000 or more. You should not be able to buy this, whatever is equivalent to Indian rupees. You should not be able to buy this in cash. You have to buy through banking channel. It's called cash couriers. Anyway, so this is a really good thing that they found, but they also make sure that some improvement needs to be made. That includes the Financial Action Task Force saying that your non-financial sectors need to be, we need to tighten them up through regulatory framework. The non-financial sectors, including your money service businesses, or non-financial sectors, including your crypto exchange companies, or your big four accountancy firms, your real estate, your used car dealerships, your precious metal dealers, auction houses, trust and company service providers, those who are designated non-financial business and professions. So lots of job opportunities in these sectors, because when they are become part of the regulatory framework, they have to have compliance department, they have to do transaction monitoring, KYC, and so on. So that's will certainly lots of jobs. Making sure that whenever you Indian prosecutors, the court of law, when they're prosecuting something, there should not be delay. Delay in judge in making any verdict is delay. You are just helping the culprits in achieving whatever they want if you are taking time in sending them to prison or confiscating their illicit assets. And lastly, there lots of terrorist financing. Those jihadis use NGO sectors to do their jihadi scam and so on. So they say that you have to tighten the grip on those NGO sectors, not to be used for terrorist financing. So what is the how it's going to affect me? How it's going to, you're wondering that how it's going to affect me. It's going to, since your country, they found it to have high level of technical compliance, it means that there are jobs, or there are already people working in compliance in those banking and non-banking NBFIs and designated non-financial business business and professions, which some of them are doing really good, which is highlighted by the Financial Action Task Force, and some of them are not, and that's going to create lots of job opportunities. They have to be come into under the ambit of Prevention and Money Laundering Act that our updates were made recently. Leads to creating lots of KYC and AML jobs. Those who are already working there, they can improve their career by doing international, there are local certification, and then there are international certification. So You can do camps from A camps, or you can do CFCS from ACFCS or ICA, or you can do local certification like CAMI or CME. Like, I have made videos about it. You can find, last time I made a video about India being evaluated, or hope to be evaluated by the Financial Action Task Force, was in 2002. So it's almost took them 2 years to evaluate. So if you want to work for the tier 1 bank, multinational banks, you want to work for EY, KPMG, PwC, Deloitte, you have to do international certification. They do not recognize, or they do not appreciate local certifications like CMI or CME or something, which can easily be done by spending $300. But they appreciate the certifications, or they expect certifications. The international banks, multinational and multinational firms, they expect you to do international certifications. So there are already jobs. There will be more jobs in India when Indian government tighten their grip against those sectors that are highlighted by the Financial Action Task Force, those non-financial sectors that is mentioned in the Financial Action Task Force official website today. So there are job opportunities, but they're only for those who are willing to build their technical understanding, learn their skills, knowledge, so that when you apply for a job, they find you subject matter specialist. So there are no ways to crack the exam, but if you are come with the attitude to crack the exam, you're gonna find out. And when you're gonna F around here, you're gonna be found out when you're trying. There is no way for you to crack the AML job interview or any sort of job interview. So you're gonna be found out. There is no way for you to crack any sort of crack someone to help you, convince someone to hire you. So there is no point when you're preparing for those international AML certifications or local certifications to just be able to crack the exam by preparing yourself in a short period of time. You're gonna otherwise found out right here. You won't be able to. There's no way for you to crack the job interview. There's no shortcuts for that. They want to the ones that give you really good salary package, with bonuses, allowances, and so on. They want you to be very subject matter expert, very technical person in AML. So you have every understanding of assessment of risk, management of risk, and any issues we face in doing so, and you are able to find solutions to those issues. So job opportunities, those who are working, the 38th batch is starting, or whenever you're watching this in future, starting on 20th of July 2024. The purpose of this is to prepare you in 50 hours technically about transaction monitoring, KYC, to starting with the initial training session, 3 initial training session to discuss very basic from KYC to STR filing to correspondent banking and beneficial ownership, and then helping you build your understanding on investigation, transaction monitoring, alert generation, alert management, sanction screening, money laundering and preventing money laundering in crypto, and terrorist financing. How do we deal with the issues of them doing collection, moving of the fund, utilizing of the funds, and so on. So you can join, and whichever the new batch is starting, contact me on email, on WhatsApp, find out the fees, and start your career or improve your career in anti-money laundering. There's really good time for Indians in India to do this and try to exploit this job market when they are iron is hot. You want to strike the iron as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. See you on WhatsApp. Have a good day.